Is managing and making decisions by committee a good or bad idea? I'll give my perspective on that in this video. Hello, I'm Stephen Goldberg of Optimus Performance, bringing you practical tips and ideas on leadership, team development, and employee performance in the workplace. I find today that companies are using committees more and more to make decisions. And personally, I find that slows things down because a permanent committee will maybe be responsible for certain initiatives in the company, let's say IT or HR, and this can really slow things down because often members of the committee cannot agree and come to consensus, or they want to study things more, and this can really bog down the decision-making and improvement process, because in reality, you want participation today. This is the style of leadership which is most preferred by people, by employees. They want to participate and impact where the company is going and how it's getting there. And by involving people in the process of improvement and decision making, you engage them more and make them feel more in control of their work and where the company is going and how it's improving. So what I prefer, rather than permanent committees, is teams that work on continuous improvement initiatives. Now, you may have a committee right at the top, which could be the leadership team. I don't even call it a committee, it's the leadership team comprised of your top managers or executives, whatever title you want to give them, VPs and the president, CEO. So those that are the core decision-making people that are driving the vision, the strategy of the company. And who do they report to? Ultimately, they report to the customers. And what do the customers want? The customers want always better quality, better service, better pricing, always better improvement. That's what we expect today because the world has evolved, technology has evolved, making us better able to produce better quality products, faster, more cost effective. Just think of what we have today compared to 10, 20 years ago. It's really amazing the improvement if you take certain products, how they've evolved over the years without the prices going crazy. So I like this model where everybody in the organization, the ultimate boss is the customer, and we always have to think of what they want. But so continuous improvement, CI, continuous improvement, is really important. And to drive that through participation, a great way is through ad hoc teams, not committees. I don't like the word committees because it brings up, for me, the idea of government, bureaucracy, slowing things down, analysis, paralysis by analysis is an interesting expression. So ad hoc teams to work on improvement initiatives that will ultimately improve things for the client and keep the organization more competitive, more profitable, more productive. So there's always areas to improve, and it's up to the leadership, and this is where perhaps one committee can come in, and that's a steering committee for continuous improvement initiatives. And of course, the members can alternate on this committee as well. It could be comprised of, some of the top leaders, some department managers. Together, they form a continuous improvement steering committee that oversees the work of the ad hoc teams. Now, of course, you could also have continuous improvement, and you should, within your department teams, where you involve everybody in the team. And this is usually when you want to improve something that the team has control over. So it could be identifying a problem, maybe with the scheduling or a certain process that the team can really look at together and make a decision and perhaps propose it if they have to the leadership, executive leadership, to get approval. But oftentimes there's improvements or problems or processes that cross several departments, maybe engineering, marketing, manufacturing. And this is where you could form ad hoc teams to really take a deep dive into those problems and come up with solutions. So this is where when you have a solution, you come up with how the solution will benefit the company, how it can be implemented, and then that gets proposed either to a steering committee or the leadership team. But ultimately, usually solutions to problems that cross several departments involves a decision at the highest level. And this is where team members need to be trained on things like problem solving in a group, how to build consensus, how to present solutions to management. These are all things I cover in my leadership training and team training, and that I've covered in many videos where I talk about the techniques to problem solving and how to interact as a team, how to exchange, to be able to process and go through those problems, dissect them, and come up with viable solutions. So that's my preference, is to work with ad hoc teams that you form to attack a certain problem, and then they come up with solutions. The solutions get implemented. You could also have implementation solution teams. It could be the ad hoc team, or it could be another team that forms once that solution is approved, because that's where often improvement ideas fall down, is that there's a lack of follow-up. So if you form a implementation team, IT you can call it, but stands for implementation, to follow through the process, and they would report back to the steering committee or to executive leadership. These sometimes could be the same. It all depends on the size of your organization, how you want to form these teams, because the advantage of a steering committee for continuous improvement is that's their responsibility, that's their focus, whereas leadership team has the whole strategy and objectives of the organization to follow up and discuss. So that's my preference. Don't get bogged down in permanent committees that need to make decisions and maybe can't because they can't agree. Mix it up, use ad hoc teams, and the advantage to all this is participation. You get everybody in the organization to participate, and that's always my preferred management style, is participative, not democratic, because there's times when you can't run as a democracy. You have to, make a decision. I mean, if you have committees that are making decisions, I prefer using a participative approach to get people's input so that the leaders can make better decisions involving people without delegating the decision to a committee that'll take forever. So save time, save money, attack continuous improvement using teams, whether it's in the department or ad hoc, and serve your customer, make those improvements, stay competitive. I hope this makes sense to you and that you will take action on it. If you haven't already subscribed, do so now. Check out some of the related videos and articles on the website as well. turn on notifications to get news of new videos. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.